Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Crowe,
And I'm Melissa Crowe.
and we're the founders of Mitten Getaways Glamping Company. Thanks for tuning into our podcast, The Mitten Minute, produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and sponsored by Outdoor Alliances, which provides digital marketing services to campground, RV parks, and glamping properties. Today, we're on site at Off Map Glamping in the actual tent we spent the past 2 nights in. So the background looks a little different than usual. We'll talk more about our experience later in this episode.
The show is all about our journey to open a glamping resort here in Eastern Michigan and focuses on 3 aspects: planning, development, and guest experience.
Yeah, and I'd say being on site at another glamp ground, this episode will definitely fall under the aspect of planning. I mean, a lot of what we saw helped confirm what we had planned for our resort, but we also saw things that helped us kind of refine our plans as well. So let's get started. And as always, we have to make sure everyone knows what glamping is. What is glamping, Melissa?
Glamping is camping, but with more luxurious accommodations and amenities.
Like the light switches and outlets that we actually had here, which was nice.
That was nice.
Didn't have to fumble for a lantern in the middle of the night. And for Mitten Getaways, we call our version of glamping Michi-Glamping, a variety of glamping accommodations set up with space between them and available year-round on a secluded resort with plenty to do.
In our last episode, we talked about the process of designing and selecting a logo and the brand guide that goes with it. And today, we're going to recap our stay at one of Michigan's glamping resorts. For our anniversary, we decided to stay at 2 of the Michigan's best-known glamping resorts, both located in South Haven, Michigan, which is about 2 hours from Chicago. Today, we talk about our 2-night stay at Off Map Glamping.
Yeah, we don't really want this to be a customer review of Off Map, but instead kind of compare and contrast Off Map's current operations with our vision or our plans for our resort at Mitten Getaways. I thought we'd talk about the general location and the specific property, the accommodations, i.e. the tents, and the experience, including activities on site and food. So let's start with the location. We said it's in South Haven, Michigan. So we got to spend a lot of time downtown. Lots of great restaurants and shops. The town actually has a river running through it called the Black River that empties out into Lake Michigan. So lots of watercraft going through there.
They had a poker run this weekend, so lots of people in town.
Yeah, it was very, very busy yesterday on a Saturday here in South Haven. Great beaches.
The beaches are beautiful.
We've done that.
We saw some people out by the fire, and they're from Chicago, and they were like, we didn't know that there were such beautiful beaches up here. So we're very lucky.
Yes, we are. I think we've spent our first 2 days planning on the next 2 days getting some time at the beach. Also some great parks over here. We got to check out the Black River Preserve, which was only 2 or 3 miles away from Off Map. Really great trails.
We hiked like 2.5 miles.
Saw some deer.
Yeah. Very peaceful.
The actual resort, Off Map, is pretty well secluded. It's located toward the back of a very deep lot off of a rural road, not much traffic going through there, and not really any neighbors in sight.
Yes.
We can relate to that quite a bit as far as our goals for our resort.
Quiet.
What about the tents, Melissa? What did you like about the tent that we stayed in?
I mean, it was better than I expected. I thought they would be a lot hotter. And I mean, it was warm during the day, but if you keep the fans on, the flow through it, like the material's pretty solid.
Go ahead. No, well, we had, like you said, the fans were nice. They gave us a couple of fans that are, we can plug into the outlets, which was great, but you can also, they're battery operated. Here on Off Map, we should mention they have some tents that have full electrical and some that don't. So a lot of the things they provide are both battery operated and things you can plug in. We opted for one of the sites that had electricity and full baths.
I needed a bathroom with my pregnant bladder.
Yeah. But all of them have real beds, and I think all of them have wood burning stoves. Ours did. Clearly in July, we did not need to use that, but it'd be nice in the cooler months, I think.
Yeah.
Full bath, like I said, in our resort. So behind the bed wall was toilet and sink on one side and a really big shower on the other side. And the hot water heater kept it warm enough to where we could each take a shower without running out of hot water.
Yeah.
And then, of course, electrical outlets and lighting was nice, light switches, so we didn't have to depend on lanterns. And came with a really large bed. I think it's maybe a king.
I think it's a king.
As we're sitting on it right here doing the show. What else? They built it on a wooden deck platform, which seems pretty common in the industry. But what's nice is they put a screen underneath it to keep out most of the insects.
Yeah.
And it wasn't buggy. You'll attract mosquitoes from 50 miles away.
So allergic to mosquitoes.
I don't think you got bit by any mosquitoes in our tent, did you?
Not in our tent, no.
So that was a plus.
One story we do have is we both love being out in nature. It's so quiet. We fell asleep on our first night, and all of a sudden I wake up to this high-pitched screaming. And I'm like, what the heck is that? There were coyotes, and they got something, like an animal. And I'm like, where's my phone? Because I wanted to record it, because I look over at Michael, and he's just sound asleep.
Good quality beds.
But I'm like, hey, we're out in the middle of nowhere. You expect that stuff. But
yeah, I've heard it back home in Grand Blanc.
Yeah.
That was fun. I mean, fun sleeping through it. All right. What about the actual experience outside of the tents here? Well, there's a fair amount of things to do. There are a good amount of trails, maybe a mile worth of trails to walk around and explore, which was nice. And they have, kind of as the welcome center, converted somebody's home, which is part of the property, into the welcoming center. Mm-hmm. It's actually a unique kind of 2-dome home, I guess. Mm-hmm. Geodesic dome, not like the glamping style domes, but like solid wood frame dome, shingled. Yeah. But very nice. And inside they host breakfast, I think every morning at 8. So a good breakfast, more than a lot of hotels I've been to, with what they have.
Homemade muffins and scones, and they had overnight oats and yogurt. It was nice.
Yeah. The employee in there actually made the muffins, he said. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Good breakfast to start the day, which was nice. Something we hadn't thought about, but now we're thinking more about. Maybe that would be worth the effort and time to provide a small breakfast like that to our guests. We do have a community area designated. I think that was another thing that kind of resonated with us, is that was kind of like a community gathering area for breakfast inside the welcome center. Yeah.
It was nice not having to worry about breakfast and rush off somewhere if we wanted to eat right away. It's nice having that option.
Yeah. Check one of those meals off, so you don't have to go and buy something out to eat. They also have a couple of campfires here, at least a couple. But as far as we can tell from what we saw, there weren't any right at the tent sites, which has its pros to it. Less to maintain and worry about, I suppose, with fire risk.
Right, especially with the canvas, you worry about ashes and stuff.
Yeah,
getting it.
And they did a nice job with the community campfire area. Brick pavers and nice chairs, Adirondack chairs to sit on, and sometimes they bring out s'more kits and have live music there. So it seemed to be a good area, and it wasn't too busy, even though it looked like they were packed with guests. And that, I mean, related to that, what's nice is they do have quiet hours that start at 11 p.m., which I think is good.
Yeah.
Sound travels in an outdoor open space pretty well. So we had no trouble with loud guests, really.
I was expecting to hear the coyotes.
Yeah, more coyotes.
I woke up this morning and said to Mike, honey, I didn't hear the hyenas last night. And he looked at me and said, that's good, because we're not in South Africa. I meant coyotes.
Yeah. Yep. So it was a good stay, and we it was great to experience what Off Map had to offer. And yeah, I think we'd come back here and stay again.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up looking at Off Map. It's Off Map Glamping. You can Google it and find their website if you're interested in learning more about them. But yeah, that wraps it up for today.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have requests for future episodes, please submit them via mittengetaways.com/reach out or email glampers@mittengetaways.com. The Mitten Minute, our glamping journey, is produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and sponsored by Outdoor Alliances. Check out all episodes of the Mitten Minute podcast at mittengetaways.com/minute or at Woodall's website.
Follow our journey in other ways, including our newsletter, by visiting mittengetaways.com/subscribe.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next week.